my career contributing towards. Started my career in Agile, contributing towards the technical practices. I was an architect then. So then, when consultants came to us, coaches came to our organization, and they said, "You need to partner with us." Then I did not know where to contribute. So I said, "Okay, I know the technical things. Let me join you." So I started with engineering practices, and slowly that I picked up as a career now. And right now I'm working as both agile coach as well as a technical coach. And I come from a small company called Solutions IQ. Now that is acquired by Accenture. In 2017 we got acquired by Accenture. So now I work in SIQ, now a company of Accenture, right? So today we will discuss about something called walking skeleton. What is it? Often developing a product or developing new ideas in a product requires some technique. So walking skeleton is one of the technique, right? So I may not directly start telling what is walking skeleton. We will start with some of the problems, right? And we will figure out the answer, right? So in between, one thing, if you can't hold the question, one question is coming to your mind and that's preventing you from listening further, you can unmute and ask then and there. Don't wait till last, because I want the reachability first. I want you people to get it, and then we will proceed further. So in between, if I ask, am i am I audible to you, or is it reaching, are the concepts landing? So one or two people please volunteer to say yes if it's yes, say no if it's no, right? Let's go ahead. So walking skeleton, a technique in product management. Let's see what it is. So from where the story starts, right? Hold on. Story starts when we wanted to build a new product. Okay, so give me a moment, sorry. Okay, so we wanted to build a new product or a new idea to be implemented in the existing product. The story starts from there. So every product owner will not get a chance to work on a brand new product. He will start with an existing product, and then he starts building the new ideas, new features on top. What is this thing, right? So the problem statement starts from here. When we move on, we start planning our product. So what do we do first? So we build a vision. Okay, what, who, why, when, all these questions are answered in the vision. And then we start building high level product roadmap. What is required in this product? What features are required? What is the objective of this product? All these questions are answered when we build high level roadmap and also the approach. Then we start building the release planning. So we further break down our roadmap into milestones. Then we take a lot of things into consideration, like team capacity, priority, estimates, agreements, all these things, and we start building our release planning. Then we have iteration planning, which is also called a sprint planning. So there we further break down our vision into fine granular things, and after that we do daily planning. So this is the planning horizon, what we see. And up to iteration planning, from starting from the vision up to iteration planning, product management plays the major role. So product management can take help of a lot of people to define all this planning, but it's their accountability, product owners accountability. Daily planning is squad's accountability, right? Then further we go, so we know how to plan now. So we know this planning horizon. Then we start building our product vision. So what is our product vision? We need to have a vision, right? So product vision, we have to set some goal. We have to reach somewhere. We have some idea in our mind, which we need to make it real. That's called the vision, right? We want to create a product now. So it provides us one purpose, clear purpose. Where do you want to reach? And that purpose stays for a long time. Now, purpose stays for a long time, but details change, right? So ever changing world will make us change the details. For example, earlier, when you want to log into your banking applications, username, password was the only factor of authentication. Now it's no more, right? What do you do now? So you have a fingerprint recognition. For example, when I want to log into my bank account, my bank account application will ask, do you want to recognize or authenticate through your fingerprint? I say yes, and it went. Right, same application, same idea, same vision. Now the details changed. Face recognition has also come. So that is the power of details. Vision is same. I want to provide you a seamless banking facility. Fine. But what's happening now? Twitter, when it started, it was never a mobile application. It started as a web-based application and very few people were using it. Facebook, we all know. So we were using Nokia button phones or Samsung button phones. Still we were using Facebook. But now Facebook has come as a mobile application. Vision is same, details changed. So this ever changing world will make you change the details, right? It provides a motivation for the entire team and facilitates effective collaboration because everyone is partner to my vision. Now what lies in a good vision? It's aspirational, right? It creates some desires, it creates some motivation. So everyone knows why I should work on this product. What makes me come early to office? What makes me work more on this product, right? So that's that aspiration it creates. Guide rails, it will not allow me to deviate. It will keep me focused. Oh, this is the goal you have to reach, you can't deviate. So vision always acts as a guide rail. Vision should be actionable. It is not like vision is simply a vision and there are no actionable items on that. No, you will never reach a vision. So vision should be actionable. You need to achieve each and every milestone. That actually keeps you on top of the vision. Otherwise, vision is one side and you are on one more side, you will never reach vision. Linked to corporate goals. Yeah, you need a sponsor, right? You need a partner. Biggest partner is your company, right? It should be aligned to corporate goals, right? Fine, I will move ahead. So we saw the problem statement, planning horizon, problem statement, planning horizon, and vision, right? I'm connecting one by one. Now we are here. So we built a product vision, right? So now we go further, right? So we share this vision across our community. So we have development teams, we have marketing, we have sales people, we have service people, we have product owners, product managers, scrum master, coach. Everyone is there, and we share this vision with them because more and more I share the vision, more and more the clarity is built, and more the partnership will become strong, right? So I share the vision with everyone. Now everyone is collaborated in this idea and in this vision. So I repeat, vision need not have to be for only new products. It can be for a new idea in a product. So I repeat, most of the product owners don't work on a new product. Most of the product work on new ideas on an existing product, right? So I go ahead now. So the problem comes to know who will consume our vision, right? We have a vision set and who will consume our vision. So we need to know our customer. We start building personas, right? Before I go ahead, let me ask, am I connecting to you? I need one volunteer to say yes or no or do. Are you with me?
Yes.
Who's that? Okay, fine. Shailesh, thanks. Okay, let me go ahead. Now, so to consume our vision, right? Fantastic app. We built Facebook, but who is going to use that Facebook? So we need to know our customer. Now, there is a technique called persona, right? So persona technique is used to build our customer. So who are our customers? They are tangible, right? They can be easily measurable. easy to envision. You can easily imagine who is he. So Facebook user, who uses my Facebook? So you can imagine a user, easy to empathize with. You can give what he needs. And this persona, right, he represents millions of users. So if I say there is a sports person who is using Facebook, then why do he use my Facebook? So that one sports person will represent thousands of users who belong to that sports community. Now there is a company who will use Facebook, right? So Facebook is being used by a company. That means that company is representing thousands of companies who may, right? So that is on user persona. That's one persona, end user of Facebook. Now there is one more persona who is a system administrator, an IT administrator. Now, how will he use the Facebook? What is the intention of him using the Facebook? That is one more persona. There can be a business operations guy belonging to Facebook company. He will be using the Facebook. His intentions are different. So that is where I empathize with all of them. I will give what they want, right? So this is called personification, right? Then let's make it concrete. We have a template for that. So we will have these things to collect the details about the persona. First thing is, what about him? What about the persona? So his attributes, his characteristics, his likes, concerns, fears, goals, pains, what he think, what he feels, his emotional aspects, context. And here context is very important. In which context he will use my application? I gave an example of Facebook, right? End user. So end user is one persona. Like Pradeep is using a Facebook. So Pradeep is a persona. Now there is Som who belongs to Facebook company and he's a business operation guy. So he will use the same Facebook, but his intention is different, right? And there is one more guy, XYZ. So he's an IT administrator of Facebook. He will also use the Facebook, but his intention is different. Let me give one more example. So we talk about Swiggy, right? Swiggy, all of you know, right? Swiggy is a food delivery app. Now there are different personas in Swiggy. One is end user. You order a food and you will be delivered with a food what you like from the desired hotel and you consume that, right? So you are an end user of Swiggy application. So that's one persona. Second persona is you are a delivery boy of that food which has been ordered by Swiggy. So you use the Swiggy in different context, right? And you are a database administrator of Swiggy. You use the Swiggy application in one more context. So here you need to describe who the user is and how will this user interact with my product. Delivery boy will interact in a different intention, end user will interact in a different intention, and the database administrator will interact with a different intention. Implication: based upon all these personas, how they use, there will be some implications on my product. For example, end user needs an application which lists hotels of Swiggy application, which needs hotels, which needs food, and which needs a list of food. And he needs some banking from PhonePe or Paytm payment engine, and you just order it, and that's all he needs. What about the delivery boy? He needs some other set of application features. He need to acknowledge the order. He need to accept the order. He need to update when the order is delivered. And also he needs to see whether he got credit for delivering the order or not. So additional features, different set of features for the delivery boy. Now the IT database administrator, right? So he uses, when he starts using, implication of on the product are different. So he needs to have a master access. There can be millions of Swiggy users. So he needs to sort them. He need to filter them. He need to blacklist them. He also need to maintain the list of delivery boys. He also need to maintain the list of vendors. He also need to maintain the list of partners. So based on the context, implications will vary. Now we built a persona, right? We are not yet addressing the walking skeleton. So we are far away from walking skeleton yet, right? As I told, answer is not straight. So we understood the persona, right? We'll go ahead. We also build an empathy map. So we need to empathize with our persona, right? So we build this, right? What does they think? What does they hear? What do they hear? For example, what friends say about Swiggy? What my boss say about Swiggy? What influences they have on Swiggy, right? So I collect these details. What does they feel? What really counts, right? Worries, aspirations, being an end user. I collect these details. What do I see? What do I hear? What do I say? What do I do? What are my pain? What are my gain? Hey, you know what? Zomato gave discount, but the Swiggy guys did not give discount. Seasonal discount coupons are distributed by Zomato. Okay, I include a feature now. I include a premium customer feature now. I give coupons. I have a feature now to enter the code of these coupons and allow to avail the feature of discount. That pain becomes the gain. So based on what my user wants at an empathy factor, I build more and more features. Implications change. So these two, right? Persona and empathy map are two techniques to know your user, know your customer, right? Am I connecting to you guys? Are you connecting to me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Let's move on. So any blocking questions you have? So which is not allowing you to think further? If yes, then you can unmute and ask me. Otherwise, we'll talk later.
How aspiration also matter here?
So what I want is the aspiration. What I want.
Okay.
So with Swiggy, I want something.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I have few questions regarding this.
If you have any priority question, ask
Yeah.
now. Otherwise, we'll talk later.
Yeah, I have noted it down.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Let ask later, right?
you. Okay. Now we move ahead. Then
I'm sorry, I'm
we see
Ranjit.
this. Yeah, Ranjit.
Yeah, regarding the empathy that you are saying. So, as a product owner, I have empathy, like in terms of building of features. But how we can sell our empathy or features to organization? Because organization sees every suggestion or every feature in terms of monetary benefit or some of the other benefits. So,
Got it.
if I have an idea, so how we can sell that
Got it.
idea to the organization?
Got it. So first here, when I'm saying empathy map, whenever you are building empathy map or whenever you are building personas, you are understanding your user. First understand and stop there. Later, what is valuable to you? What is beneficial to you? What creates immediate advantage to your company, and as well as what gives you market gain? Based on that, you prioritize. So here you just collect the data. Okay. So empathy maps
Yes.
intention is to collect the data and know your user. So later that we will talk now. Okay. So I will answer your question. So you will get your answer
Okay.
now. Okay. When I move further.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Hi Pradeep. Hi Pradeep. One question from my side. I'm Binay.
Can
I was
I
just
stop you?
wondering that.
Don't
Yeah,
mind. I
sure.
will stop you now, and we'll talk later. I can stay beyond the time also. Hmm?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So now we'll see the vision, flow of vision. So how vision got modified now? So first we had a vision, then we built persona, then we had modified vision, right? Modified vision based on the persona. We sometimes modified the vision. We went into the details and we modified. right? Someone wanted Swiggy to recognize fingerprint, so we modified the detail there. So we had a modified vision. Then we broke down into user story and we develop. So this is the flow of vision, how vision gets translated into a product, right? So this depicts our life cycle of a vision. Now we go and we see this persona. For example, this is one snapshot of how a persona can be built. So implications, I just bring it to your awareness, right? So for example, if we see this is Peter is an insurance holder. So what and all he wants. So he says, I don't want discounts, I don't want surcharges, I don't want prior insurance. So all these things, no losses. These things are persona samples. So when we say vision flow, okay, so when we say vision flow, so personas influence me to modify the vision, right? Now here is one persona, right? One more example. So Paula, we are building a town. So we have a famous Lego game, right? I just took that. So we are building a town now. Paula is a single professional who is looking to climb corporate ladder, and she wants a town to be built, and she wants some good place, business meetings to hold on business meetings, and she wants some good place to go out as well as work as well as, right? So what about her? So she works from home mostly, and she would like to work somewhere else as well. So we need to build a town keeping her wishes and implications, right? Her business partners visit occasionally, likes to get out of the office sometimes. Now when I keep this persona in my mind, when I build a town planning, so I need to build a place to work outside of the house occasionally. That may not be priority, but that is in my list. Need a place where her business partners can stay. So I'm building a town. First, I can't build a hotel. I need to build some homes. I need to build some roads. But this is in my list. Need options for getting her clients and partners to and from town. So she needs good connectivity, right? So I will build roads, but that may not be good roads now. Needs outdoor activities. So I'm building a new town. So that doesn't mean I will build a stadium first or a swimming pool first. Those may be last in my priority, but I will keep this person in my mind when I build my town. So this is the implication, this is the impact each persona will make on my product. Here the product is town building, right? New town building. Okay, I move ahead. Then we start building our high level roadmap, right? So this is where we talk about building the implying implications, right? Implications of our persona. Story mapping is a technique to build high level requirements, to build high level roadmap, and also we can easily identify our MVP, minimum viable product. How the story map starts? Here on the top you can see the horizontal journey. Horizontal line depicts the time journey, and the vertical line depicts the urgency, priorities. Now epics don't get fixed in the beginning. As you all know, epics gets evolved. They are not fixed in the beginning. What is first fixed? User stories. Now these user stories will have a horizontal journey. You can see my cursor, right? So,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, we can see.
So, okay. So this user stories from here, it starts a horizontal journey. It's a time journey. For example, in the same town planning, what will be my first user story? Build some roads, build some drainage system, bring electricity, bring water supply. Then you build homes. Then you can build some workplaces. Then you can build some hotels for the workers. So then you can build some offices for the office bearers. Then you start building other things. So over a time, I start building my product, right? Then I go into the details, right? So priority is in this town building product, my priority is to build first roads, electricity, water supply, drainage system, then some shelter for my workers, some food facility for my workers, then I build some other basic structures, then I start building homes for my investors. Okay, so this is a time journey and we get into the details. So whatever you have in the sequence of this vertical are priorities and this horizontal are time journey, what I want to build over a time. So this is called story mapping. And why it is called story mapping? For each key persona we build a story map. So this story map, what I told about the town planning, for whom I am building? I am building for my user who will be staying in the town, right? For each persona, and each persona has different intention to use the product, and flow is based on that intention, right? So I will not say, okay, builder, for you I am building the road. No. Builder, for you I am building the water connection. Builder, for you I am building electrical. No, builder is somewhere there. I'm building these stories, I'm building this product for one persona, that is called end user. And it's a sequence, you can't reverse it, you can't mix and match. You will miss the sequence, you will miss the benefit, you will miss the relevancy of your product if you mix and match or if you reverse. And that is what it is called, that's why it is called a story, right? Something happened, give me a moment, I will disconnect my power. Okay,
I have a question
sorry.
here. I have a question here. So, that do you mean to say, Pradeep, that different personas would
I
have?
don't hear you.
Uh,
I don't hear you clearly. And can we take the question in some time, in 10 more minutes, if you don't mind, please? Som, do you see my screen now?
Yeah, Pradeep, I can see.
Some red thing has appeared right here.
I can
No,
see.
it is
Only
all
thing you
right.
need to. Yes, all right. Yes, all right. Only thing you need to make it a big screen, like presentation mode.
Okay, I did that. Something is wrong here. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't do anything. Okay, now.
Yeah, it is showing anatomy.
Story mapping.
Now?
Yes, it is. Yes, story mapping. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
All okay? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So once we build this mapping, so then we can build our releases. So what goes in first release, what goes in second release, what goes in third release. So I assert again on the story, right? So we all tell a story. I will quote a famous story of Thirsty Crow, right? There was a thirsty crow. So it was flying high in the air. So it saw a pot on the top of the terrace of a house. It came down, it saw the water was low, then it put some pebbles there, the water raised, it drank and it flew away. I told a story, I can't mix and match here. So keeping this user story map, if I tell a story, if I tell something how my product gets evolved, it should be like a story. You know what, I'm building a product called a new town. In that new town, first I will build roads, then I will build drainage system, then I will build electrical system, then I will build water supply, then I will build a office for the administrator, then I will build 1 BHK houses, I will build 2 BHK houses. So it's a time journey what I'm telling, right? So I will hand over my town to my investors by 2022. I ended my story. This is how you convey your product's vision, right? So you are building a the story map can start with one key user, key persona. Then you can club other personas into that and you can build your own releases. So that's the power of this story mapping. So I will move ahead. So it represents flow of events. So that's what I wanted to tell. Fine. When I break the story mapping, right, so it gives me necessity features versus time. So I take all the necessity features in y-axis and I take time in x-axis, right? So this story mapping, I should give credit to Jeff Patton. He's one of the senior agilists. He promoted this, right? So this is how I structure my story mapping. And what do? I build a backbone first, right? Backbone of the application that represents the essential activities that my application supports. MVP or relevant features which keeps me in market, which gives me some revenue to stay in the market. I modify my details. I reach to my vision as early as possible by creating value, and that's called backbone, right? And that backbone is walking along the time, right? It's walking along the time. My backbone gets stronger and stronger as the time passes here. So my features get started building one by one based on the time journey and based on the necessity, right? The walking skeleton. So this is called walking skeleton. The walking skeleton is a software we build that supports the least number of necessary tasks across the full span of functionality. Even though my product ends, there should be some necessary features which will work. If they don't work, they become irrelevant. Authentication is one feature in banking application, right? Now Android came, iOS came, which gives the capability of recognizing, authorizing you through fingerprint. Now that is a backbone, that is a skeleton feature for me, authentication of my users. What if I don't make it work? I will say, no, I built in 2008, I built username and password authentication and let it be there. My application will become irrelevant. My skeleton should work, right? So it works. And now here in 2020, so we are still having the authentication application. It has walked a journey. Now it has become fingerprint recognized, face recognized. So backbone of my feature, backbone of my product, that's called skeleton, and that should be walking, right? So it is the least number of necessary features. If you don't have that skeleton, whole your system gets collapsed, right? So those are called walking skeleton. That should be there in your vision. That should be there in your roadmap. And those are driven by personas, right? So your persona will tell, hey, you know what? Now give me fingerprint authentication. So you need to accommodate that. Your persona is guiding you. So you are modifying your vision, you're modifying your details. Okay. Now, what is that we will derive? So we will say these are based on my walking skeleton. I have identified and built my minimum marketable features, which goes anytime. So this is how it looks. I play with these priorities. The story map we have built identifies the major activity and tasks that span the business functionality. So necessary versus time gives my business span. And I have built my story map across this. A successful software release must support all necessary activities in the business process. So when I say my product is successful, it should always respect this skeleton. Otherwise, your product may be outdated, right? So I go further. Now, these absolute features, right? What is needed supports these tasks, and you will have barely usable piece of software that spans the business functionality, right? Now, why do I say? Because walking skeleton will leave the step behind, will not carry the step ahead. Now it takes the new step, it will take the new shape, and that is where it still becomes absolute necessary, even though it walks along the time, right? I go ahead. Now easily you can identify your releases, and you can support all necessary activities. That is, you want to carve out, you want to define your releases. What should be my first release based on the walking skeleton, what it proposed, based on the necessary. So like this, what is necessary, you have first in the row. What is less optional, you have second in the row. And what's more optional, you will move it down, right? And necessary are already there. So you can only play the game with respect to time. What should go first? So you have only this first row to sort out, and that actually helps you to identify your release. I go ahead. The first release, second release, and third release. So this is how you can carve out your release, right? Now, so when we go deeper, so we can move the cards up and down. We can play with priorities. We can negotiate scope, right? Let necessity drive priority. So you can move the cards up and down, and you can negotiate the scope also, right? So there is a standard definition of walking skeleton, a tiny implementation of the system that performs small end-to-end function. It need not use the final architecture, but it's a necessary feature. It should link together the main architectural components always throughout the life of the product. The architecture and functionality can then evolve in parallel. So Alistair Cockburn, so he derived this definition. So walking skeleton always is necessary for your product. So if you're a product manager or a product owner, keep this in mind. If you don't respect walking skeleton, your product may become irrelevant, right? So now I move ahead. I have kept this slide blank. So what are the pros of walking skeleton? Anyone can answer? So 1 minute. So you figure out. Otherwise, I have just told you about the walking skeleton. I leave it blank. It is up to us to derive what may be the pros of walking skeleton. What can be the cons of walking skeleton? Yeah.
The shortest possible outcome and the shortest possible time.
Right. And it's always there. Okay. So don't miss that. So without your skeleton, your body may collapse, your product may collapse. So you need this skeleton always, right? And it needs to walk. It needs to walk along the time. Fine. So cons, when I can adapt this, okay, what can be the cons? What may prevent from using this technique? Late first release. Yeah, I need to do some more work to derive my own objective, and I need to derive my own meaning out of it, benefit out of it. Yeah, I will take some time. And there can be a risk of cutting the corners. Hey, you know what? This is an elaborated technique. Let's skip few things. So there is a risk here. So product owners need to be very to work with very much conviction. They have to believe the story mapping and king skeleton, and they have to base all their features with full convictions, right? Now, what will happen if there is no walking skeleton? I told your product may become irrelevant. Now let's name few of the brands which did not respect walking skeleton. Anyone recollects?
Yeah,
Nokia.
it's Nokia.
Absolutely, Nokia, right? Nokia. What else? Who else? Orkut. Orkut, right? Facebook crushed it over. Orkut did not propose any new ideas, any new features which Facebook did not. And Orkut had a skeleton, but it did not walk, right? So it did not walk. Ultimately, it got perished. What else? What else? What are the other products?
One more Google thing
Do you
only there. I
remember?
forgot the name. Similar to Facebook. Google.
I don't recall.
Yahoo.
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 Yeah, very good example. Yeah, Yahoo also, right? So Yahoo also collapsed because Gmail just took it over. It could not produce anything beneficial. Then what else?
Although it did not swap, Outlook has lots of features and you got follow that.
Okay,
Microsoft Outlook.
right.
Bing search engine.
Very good. Bling. Correct. Right. So no one can overtake Google right now. See, the Google is walking. That's the good thing, right? So Google always, they keep their skeleton. Search is what? Search feature is there from ages. But how they have become relevant, right? Today also you prefer Google search. They have added new things into their skeleton. And personas have driven. So they collect a lot of feedback. They have their own mechanism to collect feedback. There is something called funnel analysis. Google uses it widely. So what do you do in Google? It collects the data. And that's what the persona improves the product. Right. So that's all I wanted to share. And let's go back to the questions now. Sorry, I hurried in between because just to give you an idea, and I stopped many people from asking question. I'm sorry about that. Now we can talk about that.
So, would this mean that different personas in the system would have different story mapping?
No. You start with one persona.
Correct.
Automatically, one more persona will get triggered. For example, in Swiggy application, I start with one journey, right? I start with end user journey. And I say, okay, delivered, food delivered. Now food delivered or food is arriving. How do I make sure that the food is arriving? How do I calculate the duration of the food is arriving? So there will be, so I need to make some features there which will help the end user persona to understand that his food is on the way. Then what I do, I will give the details of the delivery boy, a delivery person. So one more persona got triggered called a delivery boy, and we start building one story map for him, set of features what delivery boy is concerned with. Like that, we start with one persona and other personas gets attached to that, and holistically we can build our product roadmap. Okay, fine. So Som, let's look into the questions if there are anything which is
Yeah, Pradeep, couple of questions are there in the chat box. So I just wanted to go through one by one. So
okay.
So Balaji Gopalan is asking, is personas is same as scope documents?
Scope documents.
Yes.
Scope documents, no, they are different. Now in product, you build scope document based on persona. So scope document will not drive persona. For example, I knew a product owner who was working in Paytm. Paytm wanted to bring BHIM payment, BHIM payment, right? UPI wala payment. So that person, product owner, he has interviewed nearly 1,000 people, 1,000 shops, and he collected the persona details. Who will use this? In what circumstances they want a unified payment? So demonetization of currencies created a major revolution in the digital payment, right? So that was the time they missed. Paytm recently integrated unified payment, UPI payment. Paytm did not had it earlier, right? If you remember, Paytm was only a wallet. So what he did, he interviewed nearly 1,000 vendors, and each vendor was a different persona, and he collected the scope based on the persona. So scope document is not same as persona. Persona tells us, persona will tell the implication. Persona will signal you some implication. Based on that implication, you build the scope. Okay, so scope is built based on the implication of the persona, right?
Okay, thank you for Pradeep. And we have one more question from Balaji Gopalan. Do we had empathy in the beginning while building the product?
Of course, you can, because I will stop sharing. Okay, so empathy is something which you need to carry always, not only once. So when your customer asks, so you're continuously collaborating with your customer, right? What Agile says, our core focus is to deliver continuous, satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of working software. That's what Agile principle says. So you need to be empathetic with customer always throughout the journey of you and customer until the life of your product. So empathy, you update. I was working in a company, empathy map was built on a wall, and it was like erasable and rewritable. So whenever they are working on a new dimension, or whenever they are working on a new quarter objective, they will go and update empathy map. It was big. It was like 10 feet versus 4 feet empathy map on a big wall, and that gets updated. So people can go and write there. So empathy map is a living document. Okay.
Thank you. One more question from the same person, Balaji Gopalan. Do we include empathy during the benchmark process?
Empathy during, sorry, once again, repeat.
Do
Do
we
we add
include
empathy?
during the benchmark process?
What is benchmark? Milestone?
Maybe milestone.
Okay. So empathy, we don't include. We derive milestone based on the empathy. Empathy is an input to derive the milestone. Okay, my customer is asking, for example, a discount feature, right? So I saw that most of the survey, you do survey, right? Sometimes you to collect the feedback on your product, you do surveys. So most of the survey results tell that Zomato is giving discount and Swiggy is not giving discount. Now that's the empathy factor. So we need to include some discount factors, discount features. Then how do we do that? Let us include in our roadmap. Let us include in our milestone. So your empathy map will drive your milestones. You will not include that. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Fine.
At the present competition market, so we need to include, like, we need to know the competitors' features as well. Yeah, definitely. Okay. We have one more question from Binay Patel. How do we manage conflicting needs of various personas? Is there any tools and techniques?
There are a lot of, usually persona is a virtual customer. You got that. Okay.
Yeah.
There will be no physical persona, right? You collect details and you imagine your own persona, right? End user, delivery boy, system administrator, database administrator, like that. There are different, but they will not have conflicts. Or whenever there is a conflict, what do? You prioritize, right? You take a decision being a product owner. Now we say that, okay, now delivery boy. So there is a user persona wanted in Swiggy application. User persona wanted that he wants to know when the food will be arriving. Right now I start thinking about a delivery boy updates. Now the delivery boy persona, immediately he needs to acknowledge the order first, then only he can work on that order, right? That acknowledgement feature has to come first. So what do you want to do? Now there is a conflict. Do you first build the acknowledgement feature of a delivery boy, then give the details? Or you say first, okay, let us give the details of the delivery boy. Let's have some other mechanism to say he is the delivery boy. How do I know that Pradeep is a delivery boy? He needs to acknowledge, right? So this can be a conflict sometimes based on the persona. At that time you prioritize. You prioritize based on the flow, what it takes.
Yeah, that's why you always mention we need to make it as a story sort of thing.
Right.
So the flow
Right.
will be easier.
Flow. Right.
Flow, yeah.
You tell a story. Right.
Yeah, right. Thank you. We have one more question. What if the customer changes the scope or the priority of the delivery?
You are with the customer. Your highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and frequent delivery. So that is what you should not miss. Be with the customer. Ask why he's asking that change. Negotiate what is the amount of encouragement you can give to that change. So if customer says, give me 100 changes, you don't have to give 100 changes. You can say, let me give 10 changes first. And how late he is asking, or how early he is asking, how clear he is. Is he clear? So build the clarity. So all these things are needed before you say yes to customer, but say yes to customer, keeping these filters in your mind. See what he needs urgently, give that. If he is asking for 100 things, say if you can give 10 things first. See what is the clarity. Slowly start building clarity with him. Tell your impediments. You don't have skill, you don't have time, you don't have capacity. Partner with the customer. Then something will immediately work out.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. We have one more question that is by Sailesh Praveen.
Mhm.
What is the name? What the name walking skeleton? Who derived this? I
Jeff
think
Patton derived it. Okay. Jeff
I
Patton,
don't know.
he is one of the senior
No,
agilist.
no. I think
What?
it is Alistair Cockburn who has done that. Alistair
Sorry.
Cockburn has come up with that. No. Alistair Cockburn has come up with that.
Okay.
And Jeff Patton's idea is story mapping.
Right.
Okay, Alistair Cockburn is the person who has coined this word, a walking skeleton.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean that's what I know. No, that's why I'm trying to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
that
So I
I'm
also brought
okay.
what I know is Alistair Cockburn derived. Jeff Patton had an idea earlier, okay, and he mixed it. He did not separate it from story mapping. So Alistair Cockburn, what he did, he separated it out and he said, "Let us define it." Jeff Patton had this, so I will give credit to both. And yeah, so
Yeah.
Alistair, because he derived it,
That's
he
fine.
defined it.
I mean, he was more of a theoretical
Right.
person, Alistair
Yeah.
Cockburn, but this guy was more practical.
Right. Right.
Jeff
Yeah.
Patton.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. You're right.
Okay, thank you. One more question. I think same asked by Balaji Gopalan. Is
Hmm.
there only one skeleton for a project, or there may be multiple?
One.
Only
That
one, right?
is, yeah, one. You should, how can multiple skeletons be? So one
Mhm.
product should have one skeleton. So what is skeleton? Basic features which are always walking, which are always relevant in the market. If you
Yeah,
if
actually, I'm asking like if there are multiple skeleton, if there are projects, okay, there is a main project, there's a child project, okay. So do we have a sub project? So do we have a multiple skeleton for this?
I'm not getting when you say sub project. Can you elaborate more?
Okay, yeah, maybe there is a Zomato, okay,
Mm,
which is
mm,
having a delivery, but they
mm.
might be having a project which is a sub to that. Okay, they might be having a
What?
different type of delivery. They might be having a
Uh,
different type of delivery. Maybe they are
for,
delivering
for,
food. Okay,
mm,
maybe they are
mm.
doing courier also.
Okay, so that's a different product now, right?
That's a
So I
same
call.
project, but
Mm.
they are diverting their resources somewhere.
No, let's arrive at one point. See, Zomato is a company. Now they are delivering, and they are building different products. For example, we can say Amazon, right? Amazon has Amazon Pay, okay, where it is purely a financial transaction. And Amazon, what you say is Amazon store, like that. Zomato now food delivery, and now they are delivering courier. Okay, so
Yes.
you can have the same interface, but services are different. Yeah, different skeleton for different service. Is it making sense?
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Like I
Service,
can't
let us
go
call it as
through the same
service.
project. Okay, but I bifurcate and I say, okay, this skeleton is for food, whereas this skeleton is for courier delivery.
Right. Different features altogether.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, just they're asking any good books for reference or resources. So that's all they're asking. So you can
Yeah.
refer
So
any books for them.
no,
I
not
think it's
on
a
top of
general
my mind.
question. It's because a
Not on
lot of
top of
books
my
are
mind.
available. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
this is a tough question actually.
Actually, a lot of blogs, right? So this guy, right? So Jeff Sutherland has written a lot of blogs and fantastic. So I will say read a lot of. So you just type product management or story mapping in Google, and it gives a lot of insights. So there is something called where I have used one picture of them. 28 something is there. Just give me a moment. I will tell you. These guys are amazing in So it's called 280 group, right? 280 group are amazing. So they have written a lot of blogs, and those are very powerful blogs. You can see them.
Okay, fine. Any more questions? I think we already reached we are up to the time. So we can take one more last question if they have it.
Yeah,
So audience,
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Actually, I have one question. So, Pradeep, let's suppose we have one scenario that actually we had a product, and the product, when we started working on the product was not having a good vision. The vision was
Huh.
not so much surprising. It was just a product should work. Now, the many companies are working on it and using that product. It is just a scenario. So now the scenario comes like there are 3 to 4 companies are saying, okay, we want some kind of functional changes in the product, right?
Mhm.
But these
Mhm.
functional changes may impact to another companies as well, because
Mhm.
that would become a completely altogether a different product, because functional and product will be same, but the
Correct.
functionality will be different. So
Right.
how we can manage that thing into that escalator working?
Right. Right. So different customers are coming for your product, right? So
Yes,
one thing
yes.
is you can create different profiles. Okay, different profiles.
Okay,
So you keep the skeleton same. So it should not affect your skeleton. I will tell you. Basic
okay,
features of your product should remain intact and they should never change. If you touch the skeleton, you are bound to collapse. Okay. So what you can do is
okay,
someone wants some new feature. Okay, you can create a profile. You can create a profile and you can work on that. That's how a lot of companies work with. Okay, for example, why most of the companies, Amazon has got somewhere around 9 or 10 profiles. Once I got a chance to interact with their product owner, and he was telling me that it has got 9 or 10 profiles. So based on
yeah,
seasons, right, they make those profiles on air, right?
mm-hmm.
For example, your mobile phone, right? Samsung will not create every time core build. So it would have created a skeleton basic core build. On top of that, that would have
Mm-hmm.
added some queries. Okay, for Samsung, yeah, M30s, okay, go, this is the profile I deliver. Okay, for Samsung J17 one, S20 one more, like that. So they have created profiles and they target those specific profiles while they deliver. So any company who will work on multiple products, multiple profiles will not build again a separate code base. They will keep the skeleton, same skeleton everywhere, and they add on top of that the features, what is dedicated, what is supposed to be delivered to that profile, and they deliver. It's an
Okay.
architectural skill. Creating profile is an architectural skill, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, got it. Yeah.
be it iPhone, be it Samsung, no one will create a separate, no one will start coding from ABCD. No, they would have made something ready, and they will separate it out and they will add some things on that, and they will create a separate profile, and that's a separate product.
Sure, sure. Thank you, buddy. Thank
So
you.
work on that profiling, do some R&D on that profiling, and profiling will definitely help you. That is a different dimension altogether in the product management. That will open, like, Alibaba box.
okay.
Itself is a PhD subject.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Super,
okay.
super. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Pradeep, do we have any uh, gap for scope creep?
Huh. Gap for scope
So
creep.
is it relevant of using scope creep in such walking skeleton environment? So is it a
When you say
valid?
creep, sorry, my English is little weak. When you say creep, please tell me the meaning of that, because these are very sensitive
Scope creep?
words. We need to understand.
It's scope creep. Scope. When we have a deviation from scope,
Uh-huh.
uh, so the
When we have a
deviation we
deviation
define it
from
as
scope. Uh-huh.
scope which is already defined.
Right.
So we encounter a word called scope creep in our regular SDLC methodology.
Mm-hmm. Creep is
So do
deviation.
we deviation? Yes.
Okay. So this is taken care when you have built vision. So vision is in front of you, right? So vision is in words now. Now what you do, you build your story map and you would have made your vision actionable. Your vision is seen now, okay? And it is walking. And your scope is in front of you. When you're building, okay, when you're building, you get it vetted with the story map. Am I going in the right direction? Did I finish these features which were priority? Am I going to the market with these features, what I promised, what I discussed, what I arrived? If yes, then I am in the right scope direction. If not, then as you told, I'm deviating from the scope. So your story map should be alive, always up to date. It is a living document. And your skeleton should help you to go towards your direction of the scope. Am I connecting to you, Ranjit?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So we almost done with the questionnaires, Pradeep. So now it's time to wind up this thing. Thanks a lot,
Right.
Pradeep, for a wonderful session like walking skeleton. How vision can turn into a wonderful product in between, like what are the different techniques and the walking skeleton, good definition you have given us. So thank you very much, Pradeep. Thank you. Thank you all. Good
Thank you.
night.
It's my
Have a nice
pleasure.
day. Thank you.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thanks a lot,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.